Evenant, Big Jer. Today, we got drones. We're going to be making a really cool sound today. This is what it's going to sound like. All right, first things first, the note that we're going to be designing to today is an E1, so E octave 1. All right, let's click into, or I just have a glue compressor here to literally catch the peaks. It's not doing anything besides catching the peaks. So here's our patch. Let's go ahead and start to design it. Let's go here and hit that. Perfect. And let's go ahead and start with oscillator A. It makes sense. So I think I used cream. Where did I find cream at? Digital. There it is. Cream. Bangarang. Awesome. And you know, that's the voice that we're designing to, the E1 right there. Okay? So cool. Let's see what we got. First off, we're going to bring it down 2 octaves. Okay? Awesome. And what we're going to do is right away, I'm going to turn on this sub oscillator, right? I'm going to bring it up to 4, and I'm going to hit this guy right here, which is the square wave type thing. But I'm not going to actually want to hear it. This time we're going to be doing some FM from the sub. So let's go down here and do FM from sub. Okay. Now this is going to be, normally I'm general with my things here during the videos, but this has got to be specifically 57 if we're looking for the exact sound, you know? Okay, because you'll notice as you move this around, you get different, they're all very, very different. It's going to be good for some textures though, so let's just bring our macro 1 there. Let's just bring this down something like that, and this could be good for like textures, okay? Because now, good, and you'll see how that comes into play in a little bit. So what we're going to do is give ourselves a little bit of a unison here. Awesome. And let's see what's going on with this wavetable. Awesome, that's looking pretty good. So for right now, this is great for oscillator A. And over here, the sub oscillator, remember, we're affecting that right here with FM from the sub. So already we're off to a pretty good start. Let's move on to the second oscillator. So this one's a lot of fun. Let's turn it on. And we're looking for, let's see, got so many of these things. We're going to go back into digital and go to bottle blow. This one's a really interesting sound. Actually sounds like somebody's blowing over a bottle. It's pretty dope. So I'm going to bring this down 1 octave. And what we're going to do is, oops. Very cool. So I want this to kind of move a little bit, right? Create something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a shape. I want it to kind of go up and come down. So let's bring this over here, and I think I'm going to want it to be bilateral. Cool. And we're going to go ahead and bring this down to just like 1 bar or 2 bars. Very cool. We're getting some evolution here. Let's add a voice to this. Very cool. And one of the warp modes I want to take advantage of here is mirror. Okay, this is going to give it a really interesting sound right out the block. I love that, right? So let's take this guy right over and we'll give it the double switch. So this will be our mirror switch. And this just means that on this side, it's going to give us a really cool texture to add on top of this guy here. All right, so this is starting to really come together now. Let's start to add a little bit of shape to it with our filter. What we're going to use in this case is a bandpass filter, because I kind of want it to just kind of sneak on in. So let's grab a bandpass filter, and what we're going to do is grab this guy, and we're going to have it kind of roll on up and over. So let's just pull this over here, and I don't want it to be bilateral. I want it to be something like this. So let's see how this sounds. Not bad. Let's pull it up a bit. You can see how it kind of starts coming in there, sounding really nice. Dope. Loving that. Cool. So the last thing I want to do on this page is going to be add a noise oscillator. And this one that I want to add is going to be under analog, and it's going to be the drone. Okay, so it's sounding pretty just regular. Now I know that this works if I bring it down to, well, turn on triggering here and bring it down 1, okay? Nice. And we're going to do actually something super interesting here. What we're going to do is go to LFO2, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to bring this over. And I want to bring it up to, I think, 11. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this like a stepper almost. And remember, if I hold down Shift, I'll be able to bring this up in increments like that. So what I want to do is I want this to be an envelope, I think, and I'm going to bring this back to here. And we're going to kind of create this long shape where it goes here, but then it comes down in pitch like here. So what we're going to do is actually affect the pitch of this. And we're going to bring this 2 bar down to 4 bar. So let's hear how this pitch is being affected now. A little bit of a wiggle here because of this isn't right with everything else, but there we go. Cool. So let's add everything else back in and kind of hear what it sounds like. Wicked. So now we're getting this tonal thing here that's happening in addition to all of this stuff. Let's add one more thing to add as a variation, at least one more thing, but one more cool thing. What I want to do is I want to make it so this kind of rips up and then quickly ramps down. And again, I'm using these lines as like subdivisions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the matrix, because like I don't want you guys to be scared of this stuff, so I'm kind of trying to do it as much as I can. Go down to LFO3, because that's the one that we just designed here. And I'm going to go over to my global tune. And I want this to go up a third, right? A minor third. So if I click this, I could write 3 semitones, and that's going to be a minor third. And it's weird. If you look at it, it's like 2 is a minor third, but whatever. And I don't want this to be both ways. I want it to be just one way. So let's hear what this, finally, we're going to mix all the things that we've been doing so far. We're going to do our aux source, and we're going to bring it down to macro 3 is available. So right here, this will be our pitch bender. And if it's down, you'll just get regular, what we and it actually hasn't done anything. But when we turn it up, you'll be able to get the effect. So let's go ahead and make sure we have this on envelope, and let's see, I think maybe 1 bar. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, turn it up. Let's give it that cool little thing right there in the beginning. And you don't have to have it if you don't want. You turn it down. Or all good. We may change that to 2 bars. Let's see what that sounds like on 2 bars. Cool. We'll see which one fits best, but that is pretty wicked. So now we've pretty much got our front page here set. Let's move over to that effects section and see if we can polish this guy up a bit. So first thing we're going to add is a bit of reverb. So let's turn this guy on, and something that I've been enjoying is popping one of these guys over to here, and we'll just call this verb, and this just lets you give whatever kind of verb you want. Now with these drones and pads, I do just kind of turn it up a bit. I'm going to cut off a little bit of this low cut, and let's see what this sounds like. Dope. Okay, let's go ahead and add some distortion in here above the reverb unit. Remember, these things move around, so you could do that. I'm going to go for a little asymmetry. And what we're going to do is grab this guy that we just made over here, LFO1, and we're going to bring it like this. Wicked, wicked. All right, so let's give it a little bit of flange. Why not? See what happens here. Let's just turn that on. Go for like 2 or 3 bar thing. Wicked, looking good. Let's add a little bit of compression to this sound. Just to thicken it up. And finally, oh, I almost forgot the most important part. Let's bring this filter all the way up top and add a comb filter. This is going to make it sound pretty neat. Very cool. And finally, we'll add a little EQ at the end to kind of boost out some of those lows. And just because I'm swifty like that, I'm going to go over here and add a little bit of jazz right here. Not too much jazz, a little bit of jazz. Just a little bit of this. Let's over exaggerate it so you can hear it. Almost adds like a wind sound to it, but that's a bit much. I'm gonna bring it back. This is sounding pretty wicked for the effects. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Let's head back over to the oscillator page and just dial this guy in. Other than that, I think we got the sound. Okay, so let's see what we want to do here. Let's just balance these oscillators out a little bit. Let's bring this up around halfway. 54 looks good. Maybe bring this back a little bit to like 55-ish. So they're about the same. Let's kind of close this down a bit. Very cool. This guy will add a little more presence. Very cool. Let's pull this back a bit. Cool, and we'll go in here and make sure we got this bass boosted. Let's get rid of this compressor. This is kind of overdoing it a bit for me. right. That looks pretty polished. Let's hear this part here. That's wicked. Dope. And then you got these textures here. Just gives it a different type of sound, same as this mirror. Just gives it some different moods. All right, guys, at this point, let's go ahead and save it up. So we'll go over here, hit the little save sign. Under Evenant, we should have some folders being made. If you don't, go ahead and make a pads one. Inside of there, we'll go ahead and call this guy Dark Drone. All right. I had a blast making this with you guys. I hope you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.